Hi, this is Tim with Guard Digital Marketing. So I got this video coming to you guys as promised. I do have the website pulled up, which we will kind of take a look at here in just a second. I want to start this video out on a Google search page, and what I've typed in is roofing Lawrence, Kansas. So this is what we consider a keyword with tons of buyer intent behind it, meaning somebody's looking for a roofing service to be done for their property in Lawrence, Kansas. Now, obviously keeping it very relevant to you, with you guys being in Baldwin City. It looks like you were servicing, Lawrence, Topeka, and then, surrounding areas, including Kansas City as well. So if we go ahead and take a look, everybody's going to be typing this in a little bit differently. They may say roofing, roofing contractor, and it'll be for different areas too. We just want to be able to make sure that we can get on the first page for Google for as many of those different buyer intent keywords as possible. So we see a few companies running these Google guaranteed ads. I tend to stay away from these unless you're needing, customers right here, right now to survive, or, you haven't really started the process of ranking organically, or you just aren't quite there yet, but you're looking to generate yourself leads. Now, the long-term play and the best ROI option is ranking organically, okay? And you can do that through a business profile or through a website. And we can see you do have to beat through some of these directories to kind of get on the first page as well. But you can see quite a few companies are already doing it, so it definitely is possible. Now, I did pull up Garrison Roofing to take a look at their website here in just a little bit. Now, for a business profile, your guys is going to be located in Baldwin City, so it's not going to show up here for Lawrence until we get on the few pages back. And really, since you're so far out, you're not really going to be able to do much to get closer into this top three. Now, for the Baldwin City area and some of these, other smaller surrounding areas, if somebody's typing in roofing near me, then you guys are definitely going to be able to pop up. So really, your business profile really isn't one of my main concerns, just because of where you're actually located at. Now, your website is going to be in the bigger picture, okay? So since you can't rank your business profile for any of these areas, Topeka, Lawrence, or the Kansas City area, this is where you want your website to pull in for you, okay? And really be able to start to rank for a lot of these different keywords in these surrounding areas. So if we come over to your website, um, what I'm also looking at is that you guys do a lot of specialty roofing, which I find really interesting. And a lot of companies aren't going to do that, and if they do, they probably aren't at that great of a level of doing it either. I know there's probably not that many crews that do this as well. So this is one step ahead for you guys, right? It's a leg ahead. Now, trying to determine, some specialty roofing keywords and stuff like that, that's going to take some research to really figure out if there's those types of keywords within these areas. And if there are, then we can definitely target them. Okay, and you won't have too much competition in that aspect. Now, if you guys are still doing, regular residential and commercial roofing as well on top of that, then that's even more fantastic. Okay. Now, looking at your guys' website, we can obviously tell it's aged quite a bit. So it's not one of the more newer, better looking websites out there, but really that's okay. Okay. Generally, you want to have content. Okay, content within your website is what's really going to push you ahead of your competitors, and content is what is definitely king when it comes to ranking a website. Now, being your homepage here, you definitely want a bare minimum of about 500 words of content. You could possibly even go higher than that. Okay, probably anywhere from 500 to 1,000 within this area is going to be just great. And what that allows us to do is to place keywords within this content. Okay, so we're really telling Google exactly what we're trying to rank for, and we can do that through our page titles. If you can see where I'm hovering my cursor at the top tabs, you can see where your page title pops up. You can do that through headers of your actual content within here, and then within the content itself, you can place all these keywords. Okay. And what this is going to tell Google is, again, exactly what we're trying to rank for. We're taking the guesswork away from Google and just making it really streamlined for them. Now, we don't want to overstuff our keywords either, which is very crucial. So generally about every 150 words of content, we can place a keyword in there without overstuffing. Okay. Now, another crucial thing for you guys, you have all these nice pages built out, which is great, but you're going to want to build out service area pages of your website. So you can actually target different areas. So Lawrence, you can build a page out for Lawrence, for Topeka, for Olathe, Overland Park, any of these other areas, Kansas City itself, any of the areas in the metro that are going to have some search volume. And that's really going to be able to drive it home for you, because you're actually going to be able to target one specific page of your website per area. And that keeps it, again, very streamlined and simple for Google. Okay, the easier we can make it for Google to rank us, the better. Now, if we come over here and look at Garrison, so they're going to be your top competitor in Lawrence, we can see one button right off the bat here, which is this request an estimate. Okay, this is stuff you want to drive home into your website as well as these interlinkings to the different pages of your website too. And what that's going to do, especially this request an estimate, is drive people once they get into your website to convert them to reaching out to you, which is huge, right? We don't just want people to come into our website. Well, we do, but we want them to eventually, right, reach out to us through that website. Now, I'm going to finish this up on a paid program called Ahrefs. So I got these first two numbers here is this 0.5 and the 9. So this is Google's strength and trust rating that they have given your website through them. Okay, so they're ranked out of 100, but truly once you hit a benchmark of about 30 and above for each of these ratings, Google's going to consider you a pretty powerful website at that point and have good strength with or trust with you. Now you build that strength and trust with this backlinks, okay? And backlinks, simply put, are any clickable text or image linking one website to another, and they're all held within these different referring domains. Okay, now referring domain you want to be as authoritative as possible, meaning they're going to have high strength and trust with that Google already. So once you acquire that backlink from that referring domain, it's going to help your ratings in return. We can also see your indexing for just under 40 keywords, bringing in a very minimal traffic, right at about a handful. And if I click on these keywords, we can actually see where you're getting, a lot of these indexings from. So you can see you are indexing for one of those keywords for roofing Lawrence, Kansas. But it is quite low search volume for Lawrence, but you're still on that fourth page of Google. So you're not really going to get anybody coming into your website from there. And then you are getting some traffic from, the different pages of your website. Looks like more like the jobs of the portfolio pictures of the jobs that you guys have completed. And again, this is bringing people into your website, but it's not really going to bring in any buyer intent traffic into your website that you can actually turn into a paying customer. Okay. And that's where you're going to want to focus, are these buyer intent keywords. Now, if we come over to Garrison, we can see their strength and trust is quite low as well, right? Not really much there to work with. They're indexing for more keywords and bringing in a little bit more traffic as well. Okay. Now, if we click on their keywords too, they're getting some more, I would almost consider them like blog type of keywords, people just looking up information. But they do have the two for Lawrence, Kansas that I'm seeing they're ranking for. So roofing Lawrence, Kansas and roofing contractors Lawrence, Kansas. But together, those only have 40 search volume. They're position 2 and position 5, so they are on that first page, but they're not getting much traffic from that, okay? So really, it doesn't look like Lawrence is going to be a super high, output area for you. More like Topeka and the suburbs within Kansas City are going to be really good. I know I've done some search volume for those, and you're probably going to have closer to 1,000 search volume for those areas together, especially if you include Kansas City as well. So that's where I would probably start focusing a lot on. Of course, you can still rank for Lawrence, and you'll definitely get yourself a handful of leads or so, maybe 2 or 3 a month for that area. Because what you can equate this to is generally once you get on the first page, you can get about 10% of that as from volume into traffic. So he's getting a little bit more of that. Obviously, the higher up on the page you go, the more percentage of that volume you get as traffic. But then generally about 30 to probably 25 to 30% of that traffic that you get from a buyer intent keyword like roofing Lawrence, Kansas will turn into a lead for you. So he's still probably getting, we got 3 here, maybe 1 there. So 3 or 4 leads per month on average is probably what he's generating for himself through his website for Lawrence. Okay. Now, again, if you're able to do that for a bunch of these different areas, including Kansas City, then you'd really be rocking. Now, here's one of your top competitors for Kansas City, okay? Christian Brothers. We can see their strength and trust is quite high. A lot of keywords they're indexing for, and they're bringing in 4,500 traffic, okay? And if we click on their keywords, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to include Kansas City once it applies this for me. Now we'll be able to see the keywords that only have Kansas City within them, and you'll be able to see all these buyer intent keywords for Kansas City and the amount of search volume that it has. So you have roofing company, roofing repair, roofing contractor, roofing, roofers, so on and so forth, roof contractor. But look at all the traffic he's getting from these buyer intent keywords. 600 volume for roofing company Kansas City, but he's getting 215 traffic from that because he's second position. Okay, so if you take that 30% rule, he's producing 70 leads per month. Okay, just from this one keyword. If you went through, there's 100 plus leads easily, probably closer to 150, 200 leads that he's generating for the company through the website, just for ranking first position or first page for a lot of these Kansas City roofing keywords. So there's where you can see, the difference between what areas you're able to rank for, between a lower population and a higher population. Okay. Now, if you're able to do that, for Topeka, Lawrence, and you don't even have to target Kansas City itself, but like Overland Park or Olathe, which is a little bit closer to you, you'll be able to definitely generate yourselves dozens of leads per month, without a doubt. So, if you have any further questions or concerns, have no doubt reaching out to me. I have contact info down below in the email. I'd be happy to hear from you guys. Elaborate on any of this information that I talked about in the video as well is just fine. So other than that, have a great rest of your day, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thanks.